What's going on, guys? It is Joe, your commissioner of the International House of Hoops, checking in with you guys. Our first episode since the season tipped off. I'm referring to these episodes as the coffee shop. Join me for conversation, a breakdown of what's going on in the league thus far, some main news in the NBA, things you might like to discuss, things you might like for us to touch on as a league. Hope you guys are enjoying the format of the league. Here we are 2 weeks in, and the Wookiees off to a blazing start, as you see in our standings, 15-3 on the season thus far, followed by the Mambas 14-4 and the San Diego Padres of the Paint at 12-5-1. Both number 2 and 3 teams extremely active in our early preseason trade market. But guys, we are off to a start. Bringing up the rear, Sydney Roos at 3-15. Charleston Buccaneers at 6-12. Will be interesting to see, do these teams adjust strategies moving forward, or are they going to try to make a comeback? Different managers have different strategies. Some of them drafting young talent, trying to stockpile their team with players that they can stash. But Wookiees, man, the Wookiees are dangerous. We said it earlier on in the season, and they're living up to the hype thus far. A veteran-heavy team, guys with a lot of experience, guys that that you can count on. And, man, they're off to a blazing start. I myself, right in the middle of the pack, literally 9th out of 18. Didn't have a great week this last week. The JoJo's defeated me 7-2. So rough week for me there. Guys, couple of stories in the league thus far as I tab over to the stats. Man, I just want to touch on Tyrese Maxey real quick. Coming out of the gates, extremely hot. Joel Embiid hasn't played in all of their games so far. He's played in most of them, but Maxey has been option one there in Philadelphia. And wow, VJ Edgecombe right now running away 2 weeks into the season, running away, right, with the Rookie of the Year, playing some excellent ball there in Philly. Paul George will be back soon. It'll be interesting to see what does that team look like when they have all their pieces available. Another thing I wanted to touch on, look at Victor Wembanyama, 4.7 blocks per game. He's doubled up on number 2 and number 3 is Alex Sarr and Ryan Kalkbrenner. But, man, 4.7. Wemby has lived up to the hype of when he was drafted. And, man, that Spurs team could be really dangerous. I know that news came out today about Dylan Harper being out for a while, but De'Aaron Fox should be coming back very soon. That Spurs team is really dangerous. Which brings me to my next topic, which is I want to take a look at the standings here. Don't think that a lot of people would have seen Philadelphia jumped out to our early lead in the Eastern Conference at 5-1 on the season. And then if I look at the bottom here, the Indiana Pacers at 1-6, absolutely devastated by injuries early in the season. And do they decide to punt this year? That could be an interesting storyline. And I'm not exactly sure what their draft capital is for the next draft, but with Halliburton out for a long time, some injuries to some other key players, Obi Toppin's hurt. What do they do there? Definitely struggling out of the gate at 1-6. Western Conference, obviously Oklahoma City's got it going on. Just want to touch base real quick on Memphis at 3-5. You guys might know, if you know me, I'm a big Ja Morant guy, and man, that suspension, he does not look like a happy camper. And that could be a storyline to be monitored. Is he unhappy to the point that we see them move in a different direction? I hope not. I hope that he can mend things there with the front office and with the coaching staff there in Memphis, because he is such an exciting player to watch in a market in Memphis that really needs a player like that. Smaller market compared to some of the other teams in the league there. But guys, NBA season is off. It's off to a great start. A lot of things that we've enjoyed seeing. Hopefully, some of these guys that are dealing with injuries, such as Braun, Luca. Hopefully some of these guys will come back soon. Like I mentioned, I myself, who have De'Aaron Fox in two of my fantasy leagues, I hope he comes back ready to go. But guys, hope y'all are enjoying it thus far. I'll do a couple more of these episodes checking in between now and Christmas, and let me know. Shoot, at me in the Discord. Let me know some different topics like you'd like me to touch on. Maybe I can bring some of you guys on the show. We can maybe do some interviews, talk about the strategies of your team. I think it's no secret that the G-Borough Buttermilk Pies, we're in win now mode. I had a strong first week. Second week, not as strong. Hoping to bounce back this week. But guys, hope y'all are enjoying it. And talk to you on the other side. Deuces.